to my channel. It is July 11th, 7/11/2021, and this reading is meant for anyone who comes across it looking for guidance to do right now regarding a big question, a small question, really whatever kind of schools of thought are on the top of your head and have been on the top of your head recently. I find that whatever this is regarding, love, career, finance, friendships, family, etc., we still tend to have similar thought patterns that revolve around our head that can be related to any past issue or any patterns of thought that we've just been used to experiencing throughout our lives. So this is maybe not going to tell you exactly what those areas of life are that you are concerned about. Only you know this, and that's okay. But hopefully this message will give you something to think about, at least in going forward. Today I have a lovely piece of blue kyanite over my deck, and this crystal I don't use that often, but it was really speaking to me today. It has a really lovely and unique texture. It really feels like an icicle in your hands. It feels like it could have been part of a cave in a way. And I just love the shape and how mutable the color and texture of this gemstone is. So if you're very into crystals, colors, chakra healing, this blue kyanite will help to empower the third eye. But if you're not, just stare at its beauty and enjoy it for what it is and whatever it makes you think of. Okay, so without further ado, I will leave this here and I'm going to shuffle the deck a little bit. Okay. And so we're simply going to be really thinking about and asking the Spirit, what kind of message do we need to know for today? What kind of message do we need to know for right now? For right now. And if you're new to this channel, how I do readings is a little different. It's more of an act of storytelling. So I like to look at the matter at hand in terms of a chapter in a novel at large. So we're going to be looking at your current situation and the current chapter in your life at present, and then dive into the previous chapter, what happened before that led you to your current situation, and then the chapter, the title of the chapter that will come next. Now, this is not necessarily a future prediction, but more about the grand scheme of things and the patterns that happen in life, what follows, what events tend to follow certain other events because of the nature of cycles in life. Okay? That we are dealing with. Oh. Alrighty. I'll just put that down there for now. Alright, so what happened that led us to this situation, Spirit? What happened that led us to this situation. Like that one. And this situation. Okay. Now, in this current situation, what are we learning? What is the course that we are in right now in this current situation? Okay, it's kind of a lot, but let's see the first one. What is the course that we are in? Is there anything else that we are learning right now in this current period? What are the lessons that we are... All right. And I'm just gonna... Oh boy. Okay, well, I think these cards want to come out right now, so it's gonna be... This is gonna be an interesting one. I've never read 5 cards of a lesson, but cool. What is the theme of the next chapter, Spirit? What is the theme of the next chapter? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that one came over. Spirit, what is the theme? Okay, these came over. Wow. There's usually not this many cards when I do this reading, but here we go. I actually love this card, and this card is, I mean, I love it upright at least, but it really signifies you're sticking up for yourself when there's a lot of challenges coming your way. Everybody, you feel like everything's against you, but here you are battling it out. You're holding your own. And what it's signifying right now in reverse is that there may be a lot of challenges. There may be excess challenges, and it may feel really, really difficult for you to stick up for yourself. Or you're also maybe finding that you're having to be in these situations where you have to stick up for yourself, or else you're really getting taken advantage of. But you don't like being that way because it doesn't feel good. You know, you might have to be mean to somebody, or you might, you know, this might put you in a bad mood, and then swinging back and forth, you know, in reverse, this signifying imbalance, you know, or some kind of blockage, both being sort of similar and related, but it's not like the worst and most daunting situation right now, but it's difficult, it's exhausting, and it's hard for you. You don't you feel like you can't escape it. But without further ado, okay, so we have, for your past chapter, we've got this Strength card, and we've got this Judgment card in reverse. Alrighty, and your lesson right now, very, very specific. Okay, wow. Okay, and I'm just gonna turn it all over so we can kind of assess everything. Cool. This is your situation representing basically you, but this is the school, the class that you're in, the main course. Right, so like I said before, okay, it seems to me what might be happening is a lot of ups and downs in this time frame of having to stick up for yourself. Okay, you definitely, I'm sensing you might be a little bit more of a sensitive person, is what this Four of Cups is telling me, or you might just feel sensitive, you might feel withdrawn, because And I don't think it's you just having a bad day. I think there's literally just people trying to attack you. You feel like it's, things are just a little bit challenging right now for you. And even though you have some things around you, like things aren't all that bad, and especially with this Pentacles, Five of Pentacles in reverse, I'm seeing things aren't like the absolute worst. It's like you feel like you can't just be at peace because you keep getting attacked here. And this Knight of Swords in reverse, like this is coming up pretty strong, I feel like, in your lesson for me. This is saying that, and especially this being upright, like these are kind of like the first things that you have to deal with. It's saying that you're having to really fight people with your intellect. You're having to start verbal arguments, or defend yourself, really. Defend yourself verbally. And you're really having to stick up for yourself and save yourself. If not you, this could be like people around you or some person around you, but that you're taking after, that's doing this, but you are having to be your knight in shining armor with your verbal defense, because like this card is saying, everything, you know, is kind of going against you. Now, it's very interesting because I'm sort of sensing there's a lot of, you've gone through a lot, like even before this part, and this is telling me that you've been through a lot, and before this period you really had to work on developing an inner strength, and you might have had a period of resting a little bit, or really just pumping yourself up with good energy and doing the right things in order to regain the strength. And this is definitely something that is 100% being tested right now, and probably still will be in the future. Probably will be, you know, we're never going to escape it 100%. And with this Judgment card in reverse, it's telling me, you know, you might have been building up this strength in hopes that you would avoid so much conflict, you know, in hopes that it would give you good karma and do the right thing. And the Spirit is telling me that this is good. Like, you know, you are, you know, this is absolutely building up that inner strength is good. It's good, it's helpful, it's only going to help you in the end, but don't do it just to hope you can get out of things, just to hope that you know, if you pass that test, you'll be good forever, because life is not going to be like that. You're always going to have a lot of challenges. And what it's telling me before this is that actually, you know, I kind of want to pull a card going before this, even past. So what led you to the strength part? You know, this is funny. I thought I was going to pull something more like a Nine of Swords or Eight of Swords, but this is more specific. This is telling me at large, there is something that you are very tied to, that you felt like made you more whole in a way, something or someone. So this could be a romantic relationship, like as this card often suggests, but it's also could be a good friendship, a family member, and it's telling me almost that this like is part of your past trauma, because you might and part of your growth here and that strength finding was figuring out how to separate from that person or that thing, and likely because they are actually kind of toxic, even though this like card is good. And this person, it's complicated because this person you might have, it might be a toxic relationship, like codependent relationship, in where you, you know, they do complete you in a way, and you do have one of the most unique relationships with them, but it's not serving your purpose to be with them. And they could be also very harmful to you as well. But whatever this is, you're stronger alone. And I think you started acting out, like the strength card is interesting because the lion, like, it gets to a point where it cannot just be tame, you know, it's getting out of control. And the lion tamer is saying, and with this infinity symbol over her head, I forget the actual name for that symbol, I'm sorry, but that's talking about cycles, right? So she's saying it's okay. There are ups and downs. We do make mistakes as humans. We do. It's okay to fall into codependent relationships. It's okay to maybe lose ourselves a little bit in a passion or an activity, or with a family member, etc. But still, we need to work on inner strength. Still, we need to find that wholeness inside. This is a beautiful card, okay? And the Judgment, it's telling me like you're not ready to move on just yet. But now in this phase, there's challenges, but I'm not saying like don't get all anxious, because you know this. Like if you're watching this and this message is for you, you know this, that it's, you know, just things feel a little unfair, especially with this card. Things feel unfair. You know, and also this being part of the lesson. I think the lesson of this Four of Cups is, you know, again, it's not even saying don't feel sad, like don't feel immaturely sad, but it's saying you can feel that way, but you know that it's not going to be like this forever. Like, you can feel sad if you want to, but that's not how it really is. Like, you've still got these 3 cups around you. You're still being given enough. You are having a bad day, and just acknowledge that you're just having a bad day, okay? And do something about that. Then we've got all these Pentacle cards in reverse. The King of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And this 5 of Pentacles, I think, like, it might be a little bit separate, and it's saying, you know, right now you're kind of learning how to deal with not having much, not having many resources. Okay. But again, that it's reversed. Like, a lot of these really seemingly devastating cards, the 5 of Pentacles being one of them, when they are in reverse, it brings this energy of like expectedness. So although the events around us are not seemingly that fortunate or favorable, we kind of get it. We kind of get why. We kind of see it coming, or have seen it coming. And this still might be hard in bringing you to this 4 of Cups place, and this Knight of Swords, that I'm getting the sense that you don't really want to be, but you're learning how to utilize that Knight of Swords in response to this, because you're saying, okay, well, I've been here before. And I know that if I don't stick up for myself fiercely, then I'm gonna still be in this boat. I'm gonna still be depleted, unsatisfied, and people taking my shit away from me. And that's not okay. That is not okay. That is Knight of Swords energy right here. That is not okay. And you fight till the effing death for yourself, to stick up for yourself. Okay? Because people are trying to take your shit away from you, and that is not cool. This is 100% access your inner freaking warrior right now. Okay? You, again, like, you've been working hard and you feel like people are taking away your hard-earned savings, or, you know, just the peace and quiet, or like the health that you've worked to improve. And, you know, you're feeling like, again, this is kind of planning card, and this is sort of carrying out your plans. You know, that is blocked right now. So it's telling me that you actually can't really do anything about these situations, that they're kind of fated for you right now, probably for a reason. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think these reverse cards here are presenting challenges for you. And this is saying, I think that, like, you can't always control these things. Whatever you do and however you make it, you can't always control these things. And this King of Pentacles, you know, it's also telling me, whether you're a male or female, it doesn't matter, you know, you can always access that King energy. And it's telling me, like, you do have this King energy. And people are not perceiving you like that right now. And you need to show them. You need to show them that, you know, you are a king. You do know how to handle your resources and manifest the things that you want on this earth. You've worked hard. You know how to do the dirty work, be humble, work with others, and invest your money and get what you want and what you need, because you deserve it. And because you've done that before. So you've been here, but it's telling me, you know, and I think this kind of needs to reverse over for you to move on here. For you to realize this King of Pentacles within yourself. For you to say, I don't care what the circumstances are, but I know what I'm doing. I am good enough. And I'm allowed to have my cake and eat it too, in, you know, to a certain degree. Not in a greedy way, but I know what I'm doing. Because also, like, think of this King of Pentacles. He rules Earth, the Pentacles, but the King is always the air, has the air energy, right? So this is what this is telling me again too, with this Knight of Swords and the air energy. And it's really saying, like, you've got to know that you've got it. This is like, you've got to harness your power right now. And in order to get this King of Pentacles, you're going to have to be a little bit verbally argumentative. And you don't like this because it makes you upset. But that's what you're learning right now. How to turn this on and off. To do it in a much more removed way. This is going to give you strength with this 9 of Swords. Nine of Wands. And again, all these wand cards, like towards the end, I love this 7 of Wands, you know, because it's really about sticking up for yourself. It's beautiful. You know, this 8 of Wands in reverse, I'm sensing that it's going to tell me that you've got to push through. Like, this is almost saying it's a continuation in the next chapter of what you're going through right now. You're not going to necessarily be so ready to move forward just yet with your plans. That's okay. That's okay, because this is an important ass period in your life. I mean, this whole spread, this is telling me this is like past, present, and future. It's seeming very similar to me in that it's really all about a continuation of developing your inner strength in different ways, right? This is, you know, about separating and building yourself up, taking yourself out of a situation, out of a relationship, and doing it yourself, finding that wholeness yourself. Now, once you have that wholeness, immediately, and this is what happens immediately when you transform that energy. You have people that they call vampires that try to suck that energy. And right now, those vampires are like coming at you. And here, same thing, you know, this is telling me, okay, things are not gonna just move along very fast for you. They're gonna be a little bit slow, but slow and steady. And slow and steady wins the race. But it is gonna be slow and steady for you in this next chapter, because it still is a battle, but you've made it past this initial fighting, right? So once you're going to start learning how to stick up for yourself, once you're going to start learning how to balance that energy when you have to fight off these annoying vampires in your life, you're going to get stronger. You might feel like exhausted from it a little bit. You might feel like you need a break, and that's okay. You might need a break. You know, you might need a little bit of a break. And I just want to see, like, if there's anything in between these cards. Sorry for that interruption again. Having some camera difficulties. Anyways, so we just wanted to look at what is the transition from this current period to the next chapter, like what might finish it off, or more specifically, what events might lead to the next kind of phase after this one. And it's nothing much more from what we've been talking about, but sort of reinforcing, this 5 of Cups came up first. And okay, so I actually don't hate this card so much, because what this really means is that although the main character here feels everything is very dim and dismal and his 3 cups are spilled over, we as the viewer can see the whole picture. And in the whole picture, we see that it's actually not that bad because he's got the 2 cups there. And I like saying that story because, you know, it's really a feeling, and especially in this cups card, it's really a feeling like of knowing and then of figuring out. And again, you will eventually figure out, like from a higher perspective, that you had those 2 cups there all along. And maybe if you talk to others too in this time, they will be able to tell you, you do have those 2 cups there. You do still got it. You've got some stuff. You have some resources to work with, you know? Everything is not all lost and gone. And I think that might be sort of the message that's coming through here with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Again, it's saying, you know, things might happen that we didn't plan for. There might be some roadblocks, but it's okay because this is part of this lesson. And I think, again, like a lot of this with the Pentacle, 5 of Pentacle in reverse, it's something like we're going to kind of expect. We don't want it, but we're kind of expect it. And that's part of the lesson here right now for you, giving up that control, really being attuned to those moments where you feel like luck was just not on your side, where you feel like your plan was kind of did not work out, and dealing with it. And I think in dealing with it, you know, we talk this Hermit in reverse and then the Magician. Okay, so what we might want to do is really go into solitude here. We might really want to retreat alone. And I'm not saying that this is wrong. I think we might, but we feel like there's something pulling us away from that solitude. We feel like we can't 100% fully get a break. And I think, and this is like saying more, you know, kind of telling you that you've matured and you're stronger and you're in this and you're dealing with that strength, you're finding that strength, you're working with it, but that, you know, you're not being given everything to move on because you need to take a break. You're trying to juggle too much and you're just not ready to move on just yet because there's something bigger for you in store here after this. You're not ready. You need to focus on this. And this is definitely for a good reason, I'm seeing, because we see the progression. Strength here. This is about strength. This again about strength. You know, this is a longer, you know, if you're into astrology, you know, it might be something dealing with Saturn placement, Uranus, you know, even Chiron. But this is a longer term issue that I'm sensing. And this Magician is telling you, like, again, as above, so below. So although we want to maybe just go into hiding and withdrawal and kind of just, we don't want to, it's saying we just don't, we kind of want to isolate and not be in this problem. Like, you know, we just don't want, we don't want to be around those people that bother us, that do us wrong. But we can't just do that for the rest of our lives. You know, we have to kind of incorporate groundedness into our moving forward. It can't be all this like totally mystical journey, because we are human. We're not, you know, an angel, and that is what the Spirit wants us to do here. They want to be able to, with this Hermit in reverse, again, it's saying like that enlightenment is not just going to be for you. It should be for others as well. And I love this Magician card so much. It's like alchemy, and you know, this is, you need to harness your powers here. You're a very powerful person, and it's telling me like you might be a hermit, like as an archetype already. You might be you know, you can do that. But in that search for truth right now for you is incorporating some groundedness, incorporating the magician. It's saying like, work with your hands a little bit. And in that is where you find the balance that you want of having to deal with those hard times and having to deal with those hard people and having to deal with those vampires that take your strength away from you. Okay. And, you know, again, the resting period, trying not to juggle too much, because if you try and juggle too much, you know, you need to be in a state of like minimalism almost in order to mature your strength here. And just before my camera shits on me again, I just want to ask a message from our guides here. This is a final guidance. These guides are going to be the guides. You could think of them as like angel guidance, guiding advice, guides in your life, people that you know currently, who to look to, situations in which empower you and will help lead you to the best possible outcome in, you know, living this cycle and these cycles that are going on currently in your situation to your fullest potential to get the best kind of learning out of it. So, so these kind of came up both, and wow. Okay, so this was definitely, if you're reading this is like I said, this is a longer term cycle for you right here, right now. Your guides are telling you there is something here that you know that you need to get rid of. And this tower in reverse, I've gotten it, and every time I get it too, and I don't even want to admit it some of the time, half of the time, like I really don't, but you know it because you feel it, that thing that you need to let go of now, because it is this situation or whatever, you probably know the right outcome, or it's something that you need to do or let go of or don't do, I don't know, but whatever that is right now, it's been a long ass time coming, okay? And this, I'm sensing, is, you know, maybe related to the strength. It's this feeling that like, okay, I've tried like this method, or I've tried doing this thing for so long, or being with this person, whatever it is, for so long, and like you have to start to recognize that feeling inside of you, okay? And that's how you really manifest change, in my opinion, is saying, I've done it this long, this method. It hasn't worked out for me. Maybe it works out some of the time, but I always kind of fall back into this state of really unhappiness, of being stuck, etc. So I need to try this a new method. I need to try this a new way. I need to do the inevitable, the thing that I don't want to do because it's not comfortable and might piss some people off, etc., and might make things hard for me. And this is a big effing thing. This is a big effing thing because it's the tower. Everybody's got a different tower, but this is a big effing thing for you, okay? But this message is so strong, so strong. Please, you have so much waiting for you, so much joy and happiness, so much. This is saying this thing is so big, so big, that you have this much joy and happiness waiting for you. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional, but literally 2 of the best cards just came out. Upright. Okay? And this is why, please listen to this message of resting. Work on that strength. Work on that strength inside of you. Whatever that is. And know when you feel depleted. Start to tap into those moments when you feel depleted. When you feel like there are vampires around you trying to suck all the joy and happiness out of you. The Sun, and again the 10 of Cups, it's just telling you, this is a message literally from your guides, from your spirit guides, saying there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There is success for you. And this is not blind luck. This is not beginner's luck. Anything like that. You deserve this. This is for you. You worked hard. You dealt with some shit. And you deserve this. You get to be like this child again. And I have a feeling, because this is a long-term issue right here, that you know this feeling, that you've been here and you've been dipping your toes in this feeling recently of joy, of happiness, of what it feels like happily ever after. Okay, but again, like this is saying, you have some stuff going on that you cannot control outside of you. And you need to, in order to progress here, and in order to fight these like vampires that are trying to take away from you, you need to be in this. And it's not about ignoring the negative, but you need to continue following what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what brings you that childlike, basic, pure joy. Like there's no thought about it. You're just happy. You're smiling. You're happy. You like doing it. You don't have to think. It doesn't bring you negativity. There's nothing going wrong with it. And some of those things might take your fighting. Some of those things might require you to change your life radically. But the thing is, the main thing here, your guides are showing you, you are able to achieve such amazing, amazing things. You're destined to be happy, to live in this joyous state of freedom and dancing and color and innocence. Okay, you're destined to live in this, but you need to fight for it. You need to fight for it. You need to fight for your happiness, your joy, and your freedom. And that might seem contradictory, but it's not, because again, the 7 of Wands right here, we can't always control what's coming at us, all the negativity that's coming at us. And actually, one of the great pieces of wisdom in dealing with a spiritual awakening, which this might very well be a type of spiritual awakening that's happening to you right now, and it's a lot about fighting and sticking up for yourself and learning how to balance that aggressive energy inside. But one of the great pieces of wisdom is that, like, the higher that we awaken and the more that we harness our energy, and the stronger our energy and our power becomes, the more like vampires come our way, the more negative things or challenges come our way. And this is a test for us, okay? And this is absolutely what your guides are saying right now. There is a big test for you. And, you know, if you don't pass it, whatever, like, you just keep going in this. It's not like a big stressful event, but there's a lot of polarity here, and there's gonna be some stuff chipping away at you that you know is wrong for you, and you can give yourself all the time you need, okay? That's fine. This is not easy, But don't sit back and say, I can't achieve this because of what's coming at me, because of what I can't control. You absolutely can. This is you, okay? Surround yourself in colors and sunflowers. I'm thinking like the color yellow. Really visualize these cards and interpret the feeling that it is for you. Also with this cups, balancing your feelings, your emotions, okay, out of this state, and saying, you know, you might not be a very mental air sign type of person, but saying, I'm going to fight for myself now. I'm going to find the words. I'm going to find logically the logic that I need to use in this situation. And logically, sometimes that is being aggressive and scaring people. Because unfortunately, some people just suck, okay? Some people or situations just suck. Whatever it is, you need to use your discretion here. But this is the path. This is the path before you. And let me tell you, it's looking good, okay? You are promised this light and this success and this childlike joy. But there's some big things that you need to deal with in order to get there. This is with you right now, though. And that's what the Spirit is saying, that if you look for it, this is with you 100% right now. Even though to get out of this or feel like you're getting out of this pattern, it might take a while, but that's just because this is very hard. So you're just progressing, simply. But it doesn't matter because this is still constant with you. And all you're learning right now is just really how to live in this more frequently, how to get yourself to that state more, okay? So deal with the challenges, let yourself go at your own pace, okay? But take some of these tools, sticking up for yourself, you know, accepting change, figuring out when you need to work harder, to understand, you know, what in your life, what materials, what substances you need, and don't let others take advantage of you. Definitely no. Okay? Be conscious of what it is that you need to make a radical change in. And in doing that, you'll be able inevitably to see the light, because when you can only see darkness, that's where you find the light. And that's really what this is saying. Alrighty, now I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, or leave a comment below. And I'm wishing you really the best rest of your day, morning, afternoon, or evening. And I hope this message was useful to you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.